So our first question, Coach, is going to come to your left, about the third row, right there. Third row left.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com, right here, Coach.
How you doing?
Your offense obviously is different than the one that was powered by Jay and Andre Williams. In your philosophy, last year you ran for 101 yards a game and passed for 284. In your philosophy, what would be the ideal run-pass balance?
I don't know if there's any balance. I think going into each game, you kind of got to look at it, see who you're playing against, what scheme you're playing against, who are their DBs, how good is their front seven. I don't think we need to put a number on that. When I was in the National Football League, one of the biggest things for me was the NFL pass game was really hard to defend, And that's what I wanted our offense to look like. Now, I want to run the ball. I think you have to run the ball, but I think you got to throw the ball to score points. I think that's very, very important. I think Frank Cignetti and our offensive staff have done a really good job doing that. I think we got a quarterback that can throw the ball, but we're also going to run it. We got a really good old line, a lot of experience coming back, and we got some good running backs. So to put a number on that's hard. I think you'll see us run the ball a little bit more, but we're going to throw the ball down the field, and we're definitely going to get better at doing that as well.
Coach, right in front of you to your left.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Coach, your first year at BC, pandemic year. So a very unique experience for you, to say the least. What can you take away from last year, and how do you assess a year that was so unique and so different as you're trying to obviously build a new era at Boston College?
Yeah, good question. Really unique. I basically get the job, and all of a sudden we're all sent home. You don't really get to know your football team. You don't really get to meet them, spend time with them. You get to know them on Zoom, and you do the best you can. You don't know if you're going to play a real football game. You don't have a team meeting room. It's the first time in front of media like this probably since I've been a head coach. So it was different. Here's what I took away. We got a bunch of guys who came together, and they didn't make excuses. And we had over 8,000 tests, and up until the last week of the season, we didn't have one kid test positive. We had a bunch of guys who were told they wouldn't be able to do something, and they proved that they could. When you coach football or you play football, you deal with adversity, and usually it doesn't come right away. For our guys, it came right away. For our staff, it came right away. And our guys decided to get together and sacrifice. And we didn't miss a game, we didn't miss a practice, and we were competitive. And our guys started to love each other and believe in each other. So that's what I take out of the pandemic. So it was hard, it was really hard, guys. I mean, like I said, I barely met the team and we were getting ready to play a game, but we didn't make excuses. And we got some great men and we got some great coaches. And I learned more about myself and more about our football team going forward because of the pandemic than I probably would have in 4 or 5 years being the head coach at Boston College. So I'm grateful for the men, I'm grateful for the leadership and Father Leahy and Pat Kraft and our coaching staff for what they were able to do in year one. And there's a lot of excitement right now about Boston College because we got some special players that you're going to hear from in a little bit.
Coach, from the podium, scoring totals last year, BC was bested on average for the year by only 6 points. BC allowed 312 points, BC scored 306 points. How do you flip those numbers as you get ready for the season?
Well, on defense, we got to get off the field on third down. I think that was the biggest takeaway looking back at our film. We didn't give up a lot of explosive plays, which is a good thing. I'm a defensive guy, and I believe you have to eliminate the explosive plays. We've got to get off the field on third down, and we have to play better in the red zone. And I think those are going to be keys. I think what you're going to see from us is with really a limited spring football and limited training camp, we're really vanilla. And I think Coach Lukabu is a really good defensive coach and a great coordinator, and we got a great staff. And I think you're going to see some new things on defense that are going to help us do that. But we're going to eliminate explosives. We're going to play better on third down. We're going to get better in the red zone, especially in that low red zone area.
Following up from the podium, you mentioned third down. Offensively, you converted 44% on third down. Was that a good number last year? Obviously, the number could be higher, but how did 44% feel with third down conversions on offense?
Good starting point, but we'll get better. I think we found ourselves behind the sticks a little too much, meaning there's too many 3rd and 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to run the ball better this year. I think we'll have more of an identity who we are running the football. I think that's what spring ball was all about. And being able to run the football is going to get us into more manageable situations, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. And then you got a quarterback who can throw the ball down the field, make all the throws, stay in the pocket. But what you're also going to see is we have a quarterback who's 225 pounds that can run the ball. And when you can do that on 3rd down, it's hard to stop when you get into those 3rd and shorter and 3rd and medium situations.
Let's go to your left, 3rd row, right in the middle.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com again. Since the left-footed David Gordon kicked the famous field goal to beat Notre Dame, place kicking has been a kind of a spotty thing at Boston College. But this year you have one of the ACC's most accurate kickers in Aaron Bamari. Talk about Aaron and what he means to your team, to your offense.
I'm glad you brought up Boom. I am. I appreciate you asking that question. You know, a lot of times it's about the quarterback and the guys who protect the quarterback, or about the guys who sack the quarterback. So to bring up a kicker and Boom, I appreciate that. I'm really grateful he came back, and I wasn't sure if he was going to. He had a game-winning kick for us last year. He had some big ones in some really big games. I think he only missed 2, and truthfully, I think I put him in bad positions on those kicks, so I'll take the blame for those. And I told him that. Boom's a guy I trust. Boom's a guy that I'm going to be able to go to this year and say, hey, what do you think, man? Ball's on the 36, 3rd and 9. You want to go for it? Because I trust him and I believe in him. And I'm really excited that he's back. You know, I'll tell you this much. I've been a defensive guy my whole life, so usually I didn't pay much attention to the kickers. You don't pay much attention to the kickers until you become a head coach and you realize how important that kicker is. Now that guy's one of my best friends on the team, so I'm going to make sure I treat him well.
Coach, to your right, about 5th row in the middle.
Ewan McCreath, Herb FM Sports Radio. Coach, can you talk a little bit about Phil's development and comfortability in your system, and maybe touch on one thing, one aspect of his game that you're looking for him to improve on this season?
It's confidence. I mean, he's so talented. He can throw the ball all over the field. He's big, he's strong, he's hard to sack. He sees it, he can process. Here's what I saw of him in spring this year. All right, and you can ask him because obviously he's here and he'll probably do a better job answering this question than I will. I saw confidence and I saw leadership coming in and out of the huddle as each practice went on. And I told him. I mean, there were some days I was like, man, this guy's getting better every day. Just by the way he called the plays in the huddle, because we still huddle. You know, we're kind of different. We don't sit there and signal everything. We actually get in a huddle. The way this guy breaks the huddle and walks to the line and approaches it, you could just see the confidence building and the leadership coming out of him, which is what excites me. And then the other thing with Phil is, think about this. The guy hadn't played since his senior year in high school. He comes to a new team, doesn't know the team, harder than me, guys. I mean, I'm the head coach trying to figure this out. Imagine you're the guy playing quarterback and guys from Clemson are trying to knock you out. I mean, I didn't have to get hit. So here this guy comes in, really without a spring ball. Training camp was kind of every other day we were practicing. So does he know the offense well enough to do it in his sleep? Probably not. And he goes out and plays the way he did. I mean, that's why I'm so excited about him, how hard he works, the leadership, the confidence. But confidence and leadership is what I see, and I'm really excited about it.
Coach, from the podium, you've obviously coached with crowds. You have now coached without crowds. Is coaching affected whether or not you have a crowd or not?
Well, I've never been a head coach with really a crowd before, so that would be interesting. You know, I'll tell you, every game, this is where my mind would kind of play tricks on me. Every game I'd run out of the tunnel, right? And I'd get so worked up and so excited, and the smoke would clear and my mind would play tricks on me, and I'd look for people, and there were the damn cardboard fans every single time. And I swear, guys, like the smoke would be there, and I'm like, here they are, and then it was the cardboard again. So, I don't know. When you put on the headsets, you kind of forget. The only part that was weird is after the game, there's no traffic on the way home. You know, so it would probably be a lot more fun knowing that my wife and kids and family and parents and all their parents can come to the games, and I'm excited about that again. But once the helmet's on, and it's football. But for the fans, for the families, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait to run out of the tunnel, whether I'm getting booed by another crowd or applauded by ours. It's one of the reasons I wanted to come back to college football. Just the atmosphere I'm really excited to be a part of again.
Last question from the podium, then we'll let you go. Boston College women's lacrosse won their first national title earlier this year. What does that national championship do for not only the athletics department, but the side benefits for football?
I think it means so much to the university and what Acacia was able to do. I mean, I found myself going to a lot of those games, bringing my kids and my wife to a lot of those games, seeing Charlotte North just tear it up. Want to see maybe if she's got any interest in playing for us. I mean, she's incredible. But it means so much, and it shows what we can accomplish at such a great university. So congratulations to them and all that they've done, all the notoriety that they've brought, and I think our guys got behind them. The cool thing about Boston College is this. It's such a good community feel where all the teams kind of get together, coaches go to the games, the players go to the games. So it was a lot of fun for me to get to experience and be part of that. So congrats to them.